some sunflower coming up there, and potatoes, and it's like some corn's coming up there too. Coffee tree. And look at all the rosebuds about to bloom. That one's nice and beautiful. But look at the yellow rose bush. There's like 5, 6, 7 buds about to bloom there. Isn't that the most beautiful valley? And there's my pond down there. What's with all the long tongues? Got your air conditioner on and everything, huh? Got your air conditioner on. Got your air conditioner. It's gonna start raining here in a second. Well, a few minutes. Oh, I love these cliffs. Over there, and beneath the cliffs is the pond. It's gonna start raining now for a couple months. It's gonna get real green. Flowers start coming out around here. These one bushes look like yellow roses, and they're just everywhere. Look at those nuts coming on the pinions. And they're ready yet. They don't start dropping pinions for till, I don't know, October, November something. That's what I'm told. Well, I was going to do number 2 in the video that we did yesterday, and so far I've just been walking around trying to find a place to sit. These little gnats are still here because it hasn't really started raining yet, and they're bothering me right now. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty interesting what we've been finding out. So it does appear that it's pretty absolutely certain that almost every culture has this mountain, and this mountain was ruled over by this deity, is the father of the deities. And the mountains in the north, oh, this is so neat. And here's the thing, this is what I want to eventually start getting into. Is this story just mythological, or is it true? Are they reciting and remembering history? Because it's pretty obvious that every nation can't have the same story unless it all goes back to the same story. So that would mean that the story was retold and retold and retold. Therefore, they don't know what most of these stories we hear or can't be eyewitness accounts or anything like that. It's not. I mean, it could be that Adam told the story of his life, and you know how today we have traditions that are handed down from the ancient times. And I do think that perhaps Adam said, listen, children, this is what we're going to do. Because think about it, he's here 1,000 years. He had to organize a whole family. They probably started all these rules just because of Adam saying, look, sons, I want you to write this down. right? We're going to hold a meeting because there was squabbling going on with family or whatever. And they held meetings, council meetings. And then they had to come up with rules like, well, we have to record everything we say because people are arguing about what we said and we don't remember. That's where we got the legal end of everything to settle all these disputes. Because after all, that's what, even to this day, judges have these long robes. They're important people. And judges have to be judging things based on some kind of written thing. And then they began to write things and came up with decisions. And the decisions then had to be enforced. And therefore they had to have judgments. They wasn't just oracles, pronouncements, regulations. And then on top of that, there had to be judgments. And so I think that in all these stories, we've been talking about Anu, or Noah, Utnapishtim, Zirsudra. But in the Greek, he's Uranos. So we got a lot of this Anu thing. The Sumerians call him Anu. He seems to be the father of the deities, but if he's Noah, then he's not the highest. You have to go, who was the highest of the Atlantean age, And we find the one who was behind him. And who was that? Well, there's lots of deities before Noah. There's Anshar and Ishtar, and this goes back to Tiamat, Nabsu, and all of these other deities. And if you really get to looking at all of this, you'll see that every one of these stories, every one of them, whether it's Sumerian, Babylonian, even the Bible, Egyptian, all of them, they're the same story that's in this guy in astrology. And it literally is the story of the deck of cards. Let's look at it that way. The deck of cards has the Fool, the Joker. And look at, there's all these holes. Remember, this is what we saw the other day up in that, what we thought might be a man-made thing, and there was a pool and stuff, but I don't know if these things aren't man-made. Maybe the Indians came and made them on the top of every hill, but a lot of them look natural. But in the deck of cards, he's got to go through all these fortunes and misfortunes. And he lands on hearts or diamonds, wealth or love or judgments. Spin the wheel, right? The wheel of fortune. And he's on his journey, the Fool, the Gilgamesh, on his journey to find eternal life. Jason and the Argonauts to get the golden fleece. Or Jesus, right, who came into the world and partook of flesh and blood and had to suffer an ignominious death on a stake, on a cross. And then he gets his crown, So what you're looking at with the mountain, Anu's on his mountain, and there's the city, and you see all these things. It's all astrology. The two children of El, or in the Sumerian it's Anu, who has Enki and Enlil. But El has Hey Dad and well, in the other story we're looking at in Isaiah 14, one is the morning star and the other is the star of dusk. Set and Osiris. Always the same story. Egyptian, whether it's Egyptian, Babylonian. And we have that. We have the bull of heaven, Taurus, and you know how Ishtar wanted the bull, and her father gave it to her, and so we see the 7 Pleiades riding on a bull. And the next sign is Gemini, the twins, and they're birthing, and it's summer, right? Like the nation of summer, and the kingdom of day or heaven or daylight or happiness, and they're, you know, it's spring and summer and the wedding, and you get to the top of the mountain, the summer solstice, and you're on your journey, and you reach the pit with snakes like Scorpio, and you reach your judgment in Libra. Everything, the sea creature at the bottom of the wheel, the beast of Revelation, it's all there. Oh, look at these holes. And the squirrels put nuts in all these. So, but I want to talk about that more. I just don't think we can, you know, I can't concentrate just sitting here getting attacked by all these little bugs. So I'm going to take a little walk or a hike down this little rock here, and then we'll see what's down there. Oh. So neat. So the bottom of the wheel is the night, dark night of the soul. You know how the Batman movie had the Dark Knight, the Joker, the Batman, the vampire, the devil. It's in our movies. They're still telling us the same story. Somebody that runs this world, somebody somewhere at the top knows the story, and they're telling us the story. They used to tell us in temples. That's why Jehovah's Witnesses have dramas, and Mormons have dramas too inside their temple. They may say we don't have temples anymore, but we still got courtyards where you get judged by a man with a robe. Still have laws. Who cares if it's civil law or religious? There never was such a thing as religion. They just made all that up. I haven't seen any snakes at all. And this is about the time of year that you should see them. But since I've had the chickens and I got the dogs and everything, I haven't seen one. But we're still under all this, and somebody's still ruling. And this is a big experiment, this whole thing. Everything we're going through is a big experiment, a classroom. I guarantee, if you want to get through the Great Tribulation, all you have to do is be without fear. Make the decision to follow the righteous way, the good path. The Book of Mormon is the same thing. It's an astrological story. The two sons, Lehi and Nephi. They get in a boat. They go across the river. All the same, they're going up the mountains. It's the same story. I guarantee Joseph Smith couldn't have known all that stuff. The world, we're being guided and directed, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Not a hair of your head will be harmed if you simply confess his name. There's so many fools out there that think, well, I don't believe in the Lord no more. Say, why should I have to believe this ogre that demands me to get down on my knees? Okay. Yeah, we should be free. But because you didn't understand it, you didn't understand you had to follow love. Bow your knee to goodness. Willingly. That the great judge of darkness that'll come around every year. Winter comes, you better have your firewood in, or you're going to be foolish. So you find these people that they find an excuse. Look at all the crime in the world. There couldn't be any more crime than what people will allow. They can offer you anything. You can sell your soul for power, money, and fame. You can justify it and say there is no deity. Jesus is just a big old story. Same story in the skies you're following, Dave, you idiot. Well, you better find integrity. You better find the place of love and peace. You can complain about it all you want, but you can get the firewood in, you're going to get cold when winter comes. If you don't have the grain in the granary, in the silo, come winter, and all your food canned and put away, and the garden picked and canned, and your fruit dried, and meat in the freezer, or whatever you got. Roof doesn't leak. You're going to have a hard time come winter. The scales of judgment come early. Libra comes right at the beginning of the downward path through the dark night. Don't be foolish. Yeah, the characters in our Bible are humans, but their stories are painted in the sky. They're the age-long story. The wisdom literature, the ceremonies, the rituals were all designed in every country to play all of this out for the wise who had eyes to see or ears to hear, to catch on and figure it out, and go out there and get their flute, charm that serpent. It's the secret. You want to be a genie? You got to know how to charm the serpent. You have a personal genie. You don't just get 3 wishes. You get as many wishes as you want, but you got to rub that lamp. You got to peer into the future with your eyes of faith and a heart full of love. Pure white garments. Standing, chaste virgins, waiting for the bridegroom. Don't give up, friends. We're in this mortal world. There's going to be ups and downs. But if you have faith, it'll all work out. It will be according to your faith. If you had enough faith, you could walk right through the veil right now. You wouldn't have to go through this anymore. Anywho, I'm going to do an actual sit-down video and we'll go into all this deeper.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be 2 hearts running wild. Hey!